What's the coldest thing a parent did to you the day you turned 18? The morning I turned 18, my stepfather slid a printed invoice across the breakfast table. 18 years of room and board, itemized down to the toothpaste. $187,000 with a due date. You're an adult now, he said, not even looking up from his coffee. Adults pay what they owe. My mom kept scrolling her phone. She'd stopped looking at me around the time she married Gerald. Here's what Gerald didn't know I knew. When I was 9, my real dad died in a scaffolding collapse at work. The company settled. A big number, meant for me, locked in a trust until I turned 18. Gerald had gotten himself named trustee before the ink was dry. For 9 years, he controlled every cent of it. And for 9 years, I watched him lease a new truck every other spring, redo the kitchen twice, fly my mom to Cancun, while I wore the same winter coat until the zipper rusted shut. I stopped believing that money was even real, until I was 15 and found the original trust letter in a shoebox in his closet while looking for wrapping paper. I read the balance. I read the words sole beneficiary next to my own name. Then I did the only smart thing I've ever done. I laid every page on the library copier, photographed it, and put the shoebox back exactly how I found it. For 3 years, I said nothing. I got a job bagging groceries and never asked him for a dime, because I didn't want him watching me. Every statement that came addressed to Gerald, trustee, I steamed open, photographed, and resealed. I built a folder. I didn't understand half of it, so junior year I emailed a legal aid clinic downtown, and a woman named Diane started walking me through what I was looking at. She told me one sentence I never forgot. A trustee who spends a beneficiary's money on himself is committing a crime, not doing a favor. So when Gerald slid that invoice across the table on my birthday, I didn't cry. I said, okay, can I pay you Saturday? At Mom's party, in front of everyone. He smirked like he'd won. Sure, kid, Saturday. My mom's 50th was that Saturday. Gerald had rented the back room of a steakhouse and invited 40 people, her sisters, the neighbors, his boss from the dealership, the pastor, everyone who thought Gerald was a saint for raising another man's kid. He loved that phrase. He used it in the toast. He stood up with his glass and told the whole room how he'd given that kid everything, how gratitude is a lost art these days. People clapped. My aunt dabbed her eyes. Then he looked at me across the room and said, speaking of which, I believe my kid has something for me. I stood up. I walked to the front, and I set the folder down on the table, right next to the cake. You're right, I said. I owe you something. So here it is. Every bank statement from the trust my father left me. The one you were supposed to protect until today. I started reading the numbers out loud. The trust opened at $410,000. As of last month, it held $6,000. I read the withdrawals next to the dates. Truck, kitchen, Cancun. Cancun again. The room went dead silent. His boss set down his fork. Gerald's face did the thing I'd waited 9 years to see. That money was for the household, he stammered. You lived there. You ate our food. Diane says that's called conversion, I said. She's the attorney sitting in the parking lot right now. The bank co-trustee opened an audit on Thursday. I just wanted you to hear the number out loud, in this room, with your boss watching, before the letter reaches you Monday. My mom finally looked up from her phone. One of her sisters stood and quietly crossed to my side of the table. Then another. His boss got up, said something short to Gerald I couldn't hear, and walked out. The pastor stopped clapping. 40 people who'd spent all night admiring Gerald were now staring at the number I'd written in marker across the front of that folder. Gerald pointed a shaking finger at me. After everything I did for you, this is how you thank me. I made you who you are. I picked my folder back up. You're half right, I said. You made me someone who documents everything. Then I walked out to the parking lot where Diane was waiting with the engine running, and I never looked back.